with one making $1 million last year alone. That's a lot more than me.
$1 million off of Webflow templates in just 1 year. I was actually in the crowd for Webflow conference last year, and I was just as confused then as I am now because I'm a template designer and I'm not making anywhere near that much. So let's talk about templates. So a while ago, I made a video on Webflow templates, on the pros and cons and whether or not it might be a good fit for you to apply. And a lot has happened since then. If you haven't seen that video, then you might want to watch that one first. But in the 2 years since I made that video, more template designers have joined, the Relume library launched, and it's now massive. Webflow then released native libraries, all of them free. And then there's also a Figma to Webflow plugin made by Webflow to help bring Figma designs into Webflow even faster. Now, all of these changes are awesome. They're making it even easier for people to be able to create websites in Webflow, but they affect templates too. So here are the questions to be answered. How have all of these changes affected template sales? Can you actually make $1 million off of Webflow templates? And does it still make sense to apply to become a Webflow template designer? So let's get started. The best way to start to answer some of these questions is for me to talk about how my template journey has been going. So I've been doing Webflow templates for about 3 years now, and I've currently made more than 40 templates. So portfolio, SaaS, architecture, agency, so many different use cases. And more than 40 is a decent amount. And a good part of the reason for that is that Webflow used to incentivize template creators to create at least one template a month by lowering the template payout from 80% to 60% for template sales if you don't submit one that month. Now that's something that's recently changed, so now template payouts aren't affected by creating and releasing a template every month, which is a positive thing because it means there's less pressure to quickly churn out low quality templates, and so we can take breaks from creating templates when we're busy with client work. But there are a lot of templates on the marketplace currently. So as you can imagine, templates can easily get lost in the crowd unless you find your own ways to market them somehow. And I do a little bit of this. Keyword searching for ranking on my own website, posting on Dribbble, YouTube, and other socials where I can. So in January of 2022, the start of last year, I made about 3,800 USD for that month. And that's nothing to bat an eye out. That's a lot of money for just 1 month. But it's nowhere near the point of making $1 million a year. So now let's fast forward to last month, September 2023, when I made about 2,600 USD. And it's important to keep in mind that this fluctuates. Some months, if I release a good template, it could be higher. And when I don't release a template for a couple of months, it's obviously going to be lower. But in general, it stayed pretty consistent with the ebbs and flows of the new templates that I've added. Now again, that isn't surprising or disappointing when you think of all of the things that have been added to Webflow that are alternatives to templates. Again, Webflow libraries, the Relume library, and also the Figma to Webflow plugin. So there are many different ways for designers to build in Webflow now, and that's exactly what we want, the tools to be able to build better websites faster. Which leaves us with the question of how did a template designer make $1 million in just 1 year when I'm not making anywhere near that with 40 templates? Not that I'm jealous or anything. I don't even mind. It doesn't even matter. So I have a bit of a hunch on how it might be possible. Number one, instead of having 40 templates, you want to instead have over 150 templates. So instead you want to create about 1 or 2 templates a week, which is a lot. Now, number two is more of an assumption that I'm making, but if you could somehow piggyback off of internet trends, sort of selling shovels during a gold rush, then that could also be a way that you could make a lot of sales. Imagine if, for example, you were the top result on Google if someone typed in NFT template or maybe even crypto template. That would be a crazy amount of SEO power. Which means number three is really just understanding and focusing on SEO. What are people searching for in Google and how can you get to the top? This is important for almost any business that wants to be online, and it's no exception for templates. The point I want to make though is anyone else making anywhere near $1 million through templates is not super realistic, which means the answer to the super clickbaity video title of whether you can make $1 million off of Webflow templates is probably not. But in saying that, balancing client service work with selling some kind of digital product is still a good way to have different streams of income coming in. When it comes to picking the kind of digital products to make or the type of template to sell or even picking the kind of industry that you want to sell to, I would steal a quote from Naval and say, follow your intellectual curiosity rather than whatever is making money right now. If your curiosity ever leads you to a place where society eventually wants to go, then you'll get paid extremely well. Now, I'm not completely sure what you should do with this information. Does this mean you should still apply to become a template designer? Does this mean you shouldn't? Does this mean you should invest in a timeshare in Brazil? Well, I'm not fully sure, but I hope this equips you with more information about the template world and how you might want to monetize your skills. So that's a little bit of info and an update on selling Webflow templates in 2023 and whether you can make enough money off of them to buy 200,000 coffees in one go. So let me know if this was helpful or interesting, or if you have any other questions about templates or anything else, then leave them in the comments below. So I'm living in Edinburgh now, and I'm going to be going to the London Webflow conference this year. So if you're in the UK, feel free to drop a line and say hi anytime. And if you're going to the Webflow conference in London, then I'll see you there. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Make sure to tip, and I'll see you on the next one.